everyone, and welcome to the final day of SMAC 2025. It's me, Brie, aka Simsberry, once again here to guide you into the wonderful world of Sims Machinima. Today, we'll take a step away from reality and check out projects that include fantastical elements and voice actors that help shape those projects. We also have a special performance as well as trailers and exclusive previews. So, grab your snacks and your favorite drink, and let's start the day with Moon Sympathizer's voice acting panel.
Artie, welcome to another year of SMAC. Thank you for joining us this year.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me again this year.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
Yes, we're so excited. Okay, so I have some questions submitted by your fans. Are you ready?
Ooh, as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, so what's your favorite type of role to voice? And have you ever gotten emotionally attached to a character you voiced?
Ooh, my favorite type of roles to voice. Right now, I am voicing my favorite type of roles, which is Eris. I love her so much. The complexity, the insanity. I really love those characters. And have I ever gotten emotionally attached? Every character I voice, I've gotten some sort of attachment to, that I just love so desperately. Every character, they always have like a special place in your heart. Like
Oh,
they just form a little house there, and it's like,
yeah.
oh, every time you get to revisit, so it's
There's
really
like,
fun.
yeah, they're like your little babies in your head
Yeah,
and
I'm
your
like,
voice.
oh, my little chibi dolls. I get to see every so often.
Okay, next question. This one's a really long one. Okay, so you're doing such an incredible job as Faye in the Rivers. I love her, and I'm convinced part of that is because of your voice acting. You make her feel so real. In what ways do you relate to her character, if at all? What do you think of her story arc so far? Ooh, this is the good one.
Oh gosh, she's just like such a voice of reason. I don't relate to her in the voice of reason part because I am not reasonable at all.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of acting there actually with Faye. Unfortunately, I wish I was more like her. I don't know. She's very soft-spoken. However, she's assertive. What I do relate to her with is her diary of the mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
I I rambled. That's where I shine. I'm like all the time. I guess her anxiety, I think actually is where I relate to her a lot, and like always having to over explain herself. Thank you so much, Dana, for giving me Faye. Or Ken. Also giving me Faye. But also
Poor
Ken.
Ken.
Poor Ken. And he's just Ken.
I know, right? Just like I'm
Oh,
just Ken. I want to play the song for him because he's just Ken.
oh, no, he needs to dress up as Ken for Halloween. I've been wanting that for so long.
Oh man, Dana needs to
I
get
love
on it.
him. I If she has the time, please. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Next question. Okay, so this is where I think a lot of people have been asking about this new character. Your character Iris, is it Eris?
Eris,
Yeah,
yeah.
Eris.
Eris, yeah.
In Gods of Eos is so frighteningly good. How do you get yourself in the mindset of that character, and how are you loving your character so far? And what made you audition for that role?
Okay, I'm gonna answer it backwards, if that makes sense.
Of course.
Um, what made me audition for this character? I have said this to so many people, and it was the strangest feeling I've ever had towards a character. I saw the casting call for Gods of Eos. I was like, oh my God, Brie is snapping off with this. This is incredible. I was in an audition rut for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't felt motivated to audition for anything, and I was really just like looking forward to like finishing up the roles that I had in the community and then like slowly dipping out. And that was just going to be it, basically. And then of course Brie had to do Gods of Eos, and oh my gosh, how did she know that gods and goddesses are my special interest?
Ooh.
So I was looking at all the characters and I saw Eris and I read her description and I go, oh, she's mine. It was like the weirdest experience I've ever had. I was like, oh no, this is my character. If I were to voice anyone, it would be this character, and she is mine. It was the strangest feeling I ever had towards a character, if I'm being completely honest.
You
And
just knew she was you.
I just knew. I also auditioned for Hecate as well, just in case I was wrong
Hmm.
on my feeling. Man, it was the one time I was right about my feelings. So, yeah, I auditioned for Eris, and I just remember having a blast doing that audition and like just being able to do all of these different voices, and that's honestly what I was like looking for in a character to just show off my range. As a lot of people know, I tend to stick to like the same voice pattern, I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of the time. Um, Hello, this is the voice I really auditioned for, but I really love that I get to like experiment with different voices for her all the time. So yeah, I am loving her. She is so much fun to play, so amazing. She's just, she's so juicy, is the thing. She's just so juicy. And how do I get into the mindset of Eris?
Cause she, I mean, she a little bit out there, you know.
She's crazy. I love her. Honestly, I black out. I feel like I black out every time I voice her. I voiced for 2 episodes, and it's like I'm being overwhelmed by this weird spirit. It feels like sometimes, as crunchy as that sounds. And I'm just like, and I come out of it, and poor Brie has to hear, "Oh my God, I'm so sweaty," all the time. Also lots of water. She requires a lot of water.
Oh, I bet, I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so next question. So, how do you switch between so many different voices, and how do you decide on which ones you want to try out for? Is it more fun or exhausting?
I think I kind of dabbled in both of those in one of that questions. It is
Yeah.
exhausting, but it's a lot of fun. I love being able to like experiment with all of like those voices, and a lot of the time it's just me being like kind of like, okay, so which voice? She's a little bit more serious in this instance. Let's do like a terrible Russian accent because she's a little bit more serious. And I'm a little stereotypical sometimes when it comes to that. So more serious tends to be like a weird Russian-esque accent. Is it the best? No, but it gets the point across apparently. Um, and then how do I switch? It really is just like I'm reading like I get to read the script beforehand, obviously, and I test it out. Sometimes I'm like, okay, so how do I do this? And then it's like, oh, perfect. As soon as that's like it really just feels like I read it and I'm like, oh, so this is the voice that needs to happen here. It really is just that.
Mm-hmm,
It's
mm-hmm.
really weird. I
It
love her
is.
so much.
Like
And then,
you're
yeah,
like, how is this coming out of me? But yeah, like, I can totally see understand like how it would be like weird going from all the different voices to this. So
yeah. And there's so many things that like I did that I was unaware that I could do, if I'm being completely honest. I think in like the first episode where she did like that weird like growl thing, um, I think I took a second after I did that and went, how did I do that? What the hell? Who just embodied my entire being right now? And then like I forgot all about it because again, it's like I black out while recording for her. And I hear it again in like the take in the first episode, and I go, wait, Bree. I message Bree, I'm like, Bree, did I really do that? And she's like, yeah, I mean, I just had to put on a reverb. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, she's crazy. I love her. I love her so.
and I think a lot she is definitely a huge fan favorite. So you do so good, Jen. So this one will, I mean, let me know if you can. So you do great as Aries. Can you give us your ultimate evil laugh on command?
What type of evil laugh do they
I don't
want?
know because I feel like she
Oh,
has so many. Because
yeah,
I
so
feel like she
many.
has like, I mean, obviously, I feel you give her that she has like these multiple kind of personalities. She has different tones in a
Oh
way,
no.
you know? So, you know,
Oh God, which one?
people love the evil laugh.
Is it her like creepy childlike laugh? Because that one's creepy.
That one is creepy. That was
That one's
scary.
creepy. Okay, let's see.
Next question. Which of your characters would you want to hang out with in real life? I mean, if you say Aries, I don't know. She's scary.
The thing is like I feel like with Eris, I could like have a fun little jokey
Mm-hmm.
conversation with her. Like the thing is with her, I don't think I would want to hang out with May because I don't want to hang out with a teenage girl anymore. Like I'm just not a teenage girl. Um and I relate to teenage girls sometimes, but I just wouldn't want to hang around one. They're kind of scary sometimes. Um but Faye, I feel like I would exhaust her because I'm just like, anyway, so this happened to me, and then this happened to me, then this happened to me, and blah 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 blah. And she's just like, please get therapy. Please get therapy. Girl, I
I
am
mean,
just your nurse.
which is kind of what she tried to convince Noah. So she's probably just gonna send everybody there.
Honestly, Faye is giving me my own therapy by voicing her because I'm just like, wow, that was not a good rational thought at all. Maybe I should rewind that. Um, no, I feel like with Eris, before I get really creeped out, she would be like a really fun, jokey conversationalist. Like I could just be like making some fun jokes with her sometimes. But I think, for the sake of my own sanity, I think I have to go with Faye. Against her will, I fear because I feel like that she's just like, okay, I'm walking away, but I'm gonna be really polite about it. Um, which, oops, sorry, Faye. I love you so much.
And for the final question, so this will be fun. So it's a kiss, Mary kill between Aries, Faye, and May.
I feel like this is so easy now. This is actually an easy one because I feel like Eris is a goddess. She'd probably be like, thanks, girly pop, if I killed her.
She's probably
You
like,
can
yeah, go for
try.
it.
Go for it. It's fine.
I mean, with her teeth, I don't know. I think she'd be really hard to kill.
I think that like she'd be like, this is cute. Anyway, try your best. So she's not possessing me today, so that's why. Um, I feel like May just needs a hug.
She
I do
does.
want to change it to like instead of a kiss to a
A hug.
hug because May needs a hug.
She does.
May needs a hug.
Like these episodes, man. I don't know. Like I know not a lot of people are a huge May fan, but I love May, and I feel she's going through it, and we all just need to be there for her.
But we all had that teenage girl issue sometimes. Like I feel myself relating a lot to May, like my past self relating a lot to May,
Mm-hmm.
than I ever had before, and it's kind of scary. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about this. As I'm reading my Guardian scripts, is this play about me? A little bit. Anytime like I read one of her lines, um, and yeah, we've all been through that weird teenage obstacle, and now some of us are just like, oh, I never want to think about that moment ever again in my life. And some of us are just like, ooh, yeah, okay, sorry, girl. Yeah, we were the same at one point. So
Yeah,
yeah, she needs a hug.
yeah.
She
So
needs a hug.
yeah. So then we would, instead of a kiss, it would be hug May.
Hug. Hug. And then obviously I would marry Faye. She's perfect. She's wonderful. Um, Love her so much. I think the world of her. I feel like that she would be upset after a while in our marriage, but
She'll get over it.
I would understand her if she wanted a divorce and I would respect her decision.
Yeah, yeah.
But hopefully we can co-parent the dog. Hell yeah.
Of
That's all I
course.
ask.
Of course, just
Yeah.
co-parent. But I mean, she'd probably say like, let's go to therapy first, and then maybe she might. I
She's
mean,
like, have you heard of couples counseling?
couples
And I'm
counseling.
like, I'm like, no, we don't need couples counseling, honey. We're totally fine. And she's like, okay, we're not. We're getting a divorce. Bye.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pull that shit on me, goodbye.
So it'd be like marry her, but eventually possibly divorce in the
The
future.
divorce,
Possible divorce in the
unfortunately.
future. And then technically Aries
And I
just
wouldn't blame her.
you just try. I mean, I don't know if you can kill her, but I guess try. Pretty
I mean,
much.
the thing is, it's like it's a pretty fun try. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can try, but I'm like a cockroach, sweetie pie. Like, there's no killing me. I am in the depths of hell.
Oh my god. But great. Those are all the questions I have for you today. Thank you, Artie, for joining us on another year of SMAC. It was so awesome to talk to you today.
So wonderful to you today. Thank you so much for having me.
Stay tuned. SMAC will be right back after the break. Coming up, Simsbury's director panel to talk about Gods of Eos. And after, A Little Bit is here to talk about Intertwined and Sincerely Lily and her director panel.
Hi, it's me Brie, aka Simsbury, and welcome to my SMAC panel. I'll be answering the questions that you guys submitted to me. I won't be able to answer every single one, but I try to get as many as I can in this video. Question number 1, how did you come up with the story of Gods of Eos? So, I came up with a story in 2020. Back then, I knew that the Canopsy effect was nearing its end, and I really wanted to have a next project to transition to after it was over. I didn't want to take a break of like a year or two to come up with a new project because I knew I'd get really stressed over it and maybe not even be able to come up with it. The project that I was initially going to do next was called The Demon King's Bride. It was also a fantasy series, but more so maybe supernatural, dark romance. I wrote the world descriptions, the character descriptions, the main plot points. I made the main sims. I was really happy with it. And then, as I was making the minor characters, I made the sim that she was supposed to be an angel, but she didn't look like an angel. She looked like a goddess. And then I put a snake crown on her, and it all just clicked. She was a snake goddess. She was a powerful pharaoh. And I came up with this story for her, and especially this scene. The scene that you all, if you saw Gods of Eos, saw. It was a scene with her and Azir. First episode. That was how Gods of Eos started. Then I was like, maybe I can give her a sister. So I came up with Ami, and I just came up with all of these characters all at once, basically. And I made all the sims in like a few days, and I was hooked. I was like, oh my god, let me scrap the angels and demons story, let me put it in a folder somewhere, maybe I'll return to it someday, but Gods of Eos is gonna be my next project. What inspired you to write this story and build this world? How do you approach crafting such visually stunning scenes? Any techniques or tips you could share? Ever since I was little, I was always obsessed with mythology, especially Greek one, but also Egyptian one. So I think making like a goddess series was a natural progression. I also played a lot of Genshin Impact, and I love the world building in that, so that very much inspired me. I also love like Legend of Zelda and those sort of like exploration adventure games where you see these visually stunning worlds and you get pulled into this story that somehow connects all these different regions and stuff. I think while in the Canopsy effect, the driving force for making the project was me telling the story and like exploring the characters. In Gods of Eos, I'm more focused on exploring the worlds and making pretty sims. I'm still love the story and I want to make it as good as it can be, but I think it's more about the visuals, at least to me. That's the part that I'm mainly focusing on for this project. I'm also very privileged, so I was able to visit basically all of the places that Gods of Eos is inspired by, so Egypt, China, Greece. I've been able to experience all of that, and that has definitely helped me with creating the world. Regarding the tips, I think just think about every single thing that you put on screen. I get very obsessed with every single detail when I make my sets, and I think there's just so much visual storytelling that you can do without redundant like sentences and like over explaining. I personally really enjoy projects that have a lot of visual storytelling. What is your favorite thing about working on this project? And what is a part of working on this project that you didn't expect to enjoy so much, if there was one? I think my favorite part of Gods of Eos is just figuring out how to push boundaries of the game. I did that with the flying dragons, the moving ships. I just love writing whatever I want in the script, and then it's Future Bree's problem to figure out how to do that. And I see it as sort of like a challenge and a puzzle, and I really want to make it look as good as it looks in my head. So I think that's one of my favorite things about it. I also didn't expect to like the set building as much because I was really worried about it. Because I knew I wanted these grandiose sets, but I've really, really been loving it. I think it's one of the best features of Gods of Eos probably because, I think Gods of Eos is like visually the best and sets help with the visuals a lot. Do you have a favorite set from Gods of Eos? I was going to say the garden maybe, but no, it's definitely the entrance of the Drarian Palace. It's the one that I worked the most on, I think. And I even had to make like custom deco sims for it because I wanted to have gods as deco sims, so I wouldn't need to have like 50 sims. I think that's my favorite one. Also, I was working on it after I returned from China, so I had a bunch of photos of the Forbidden Palace on my phone, and I was like looking at them for inspo, so that was really cool. What's been the most challenging scene to film? Well, it was the scene at the entrance, because even though I still had like the deco sims, I still had like a gazillion other sims that weren't deco, and I also needed to do like a dance sequence, and it took me several days to do that, and there was also like fireworks. So can you imagine your series in a different game other than Sims 4? Well, part of it is in Sims 3, so I guess. Did you build the world of EOS entirely in-game or also in Blender? So, it's all in-game. But the part that may be confusing to people is that some of it is Sims 3. When I started planning Gods of Eos, I knew I wanted to have like a region that resembles China and a region that resembles Egypt. So I thought, perfect, Sims 3 actually has an expansion pack that gives you both of these worlds. And I love the combination of Sims 3 and Sims 4. It actually works really well, I think, especially because I use like a similar reshade, so there's not such a drastic difference between the two. And then for Maris, I use a custom world called Mermaidia in Sims 3, because Sims 3 has great custom worlds. Do you write the entire script for the entire series and then find voice actors, or do you do it by episode? I personally do it episode by episode. So I write one episode, I send it out, I cast the new people in it, and then I write the next episode and cast it out. Yeah, ideally I would have like episode 1 sent out and episode 2 already written, but I'm just slow sometimes and indecisive when it comes to writing. But I personally don't want to like pre-write the entire series, because if it was a series that I knew I would film in like a shorter amount of time, that's fine. But Gods of Eos, like each episode takes me months, so I'll be God knows how old when the final episode comes out. So I don't want like my writing from like a few years ago affect the story, because I know I'd be like, oh my god, you know, I wish I could change this, but it was written 5 years ago. In the Canopsy Effect, the story changed drastically after episode 1, and then like it still had like some smaller but important changes after like every episode, and I don't want to take that away from myself, because I really like how the Canopsy Effect turned out, so I want the same for Gods of Eos. What has been your favorite arc to write so far? I really love Tiberius' scenes, honestly. His arc is just that he's like a messy cheater, but I think that's just so fun, you know? And I love like filming them, because the voice actors always do such an amazing job. Like Tyler is so great with like Tiberius, and then you have like Dale with Jongwoo, and you have Shadow as Hecate, and they're all such fantastic voice actors, and I just love the dynamics. And you know, also all of his other like 10 billion lovers, they also have great voice actresses. And what's the most rewarding fan comment that you've ever received? And what's the craziest? So for the most rewarding, it's a comment that I received on episode 18, I think, of the Canopsy Effect, and the comment predicted Sierra's arc. And I was so happy with that, because I love a good plot twist if it has good foreshadowing. If it's just thrown in there with like no signs of it whatsoever, I'm like, meh. But if it has good foreshadowing, I love it, because you can like go back and watch the previous scenes and you already see, oh wait, there's signs that this would happen. It didn't just come out of nowhere, but there's a thin line for it where like you don't want the foreshadowing to be too obvious, but you also, you know, want to add some foreshadowing. So I was so happy when someone was suspicious of Sierra, because everyone like sort of like liked her or didn't think too much of like her actions from the past, but that comment like read her to filth. They were like, you know what, I don't trust Sierra because of how she approached North out of nowhere and already started like seducing him like the first day that they met, you know? It's sort of giving Beatrix vibes, because that's exactly what she did. And I was like, oh my god, you solved my puzzle. And then for the craziest comment I've ever gotten, I got a few crazy ones, but the craziest was definitely one that I received on episode 1 of Gods of Eos, where it was super long comment about how Azir was actually correct and Astarte shouldn't be the leader of the country because she's a woman. So that means that she has these hormones and she can't really think straight because of pregnancy and menstruation and childbirth, when Astarte is literally a 200-year-old goddess of life. So that was super crazy. Also, they shipped Ami with Azir and hope that he will be reborn in the like underworld, which, you know, they were sort of onto something, because Alex voices both Azir and Ba, which is Ami's familiar. So they were onto something, but yeah, that was the craziest comment. I really hope they watch the next episodes so I can get more comments from them, because it was very entertaining. Between the Canopsy Effect, Gods of Eos, and Older Project, you've worked on several genres so far. What genre do you enjoy directing the most, and what is a genre that you haven't tried yet that you would want to do in the future? I've done a lot of genres. So I did rom-com with Take a Shot. Then I had a really bad attempt at horror with Obsessed. I hope nobody remembers that. Then I had romance drama with Hope, fantasy with Forbidden Tale, and now the Gods of Eos. I did sci-fi / post-apocalypse with the Canopsy Effect, and then slice of life, coming of age with Retrovi. I think my favorite one is obviously the Canopy Effect, just because that project is so near and dear to my heart, and also it's the sort of thing that I like to watch. But there is a genre that I love watching the most that I haven't done yet, and that's police drama, murder mystery sort of thing. Like, if I'm watching TV, I'm most likely watching CSI or Bones or Castle or something like that. So in the future, maybe I would really love to do like a little, my trickster moment, but I need the main two people to be like in a ship, all those tropes. Like, I'm such a sucker for that. So if I ever do it, expect main partners to be a ship. What would you say to someone just starting out in Machinima? Just do it. I think experiment, find out what you like. Don't expect your first Machinima to be perfect, because I don't think anyone makes a perfect first Machinima. Mine all looked like trash. There's so many of them that were even worse than the ones you can see on YouTube, because I made like a bunch before I started actually uploading. But yeah, just start. Watch some tutorials on how to film, watch some tutorials on how to film stuff that's not in The Sims, just to like learn composition, color theory, shit like that. And yeah, don't be discouraged, because you will find your niche, you will learn, and it's gonna be amazing to like look back on your project like a year later and see how far you've come, just like in any other hobby. So yeah, that was my panel. I hope you liked it, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of SMAC.
Thanks for having me here at this year's SMAC. I'm so happy to be here. To be honest, I'm a little nervous, so I apologize if I start to ramble. But for those who don't know me, my name is Tashi, and I have been creating Sims 2 Machinima since, I don't know, I was 13. Yes, that probably just aged me, but that's okay. I have done various genres over the years, like horror, mystery, and anime-inspired shows like Overlooked and Out of Focus. But today, I will be focusing on talking about my long-running, if you're counting 8, if you're not, 7, supernatural magic series Intertwined. Now, you guys sent me some questions, and I am now going to answer them. Okay, the first question is going to pop up on the screen. What? I'm sorry, what? Sorry, guys. Give me one moment. You want me to stand? Oh, I'm not standing in the right spot. Okay, right here? Okay. Okay, no, it's okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, like I said, the first question. Oh, wait. How did I get here? Wait, is this Elena's house? Hello? Okay. I guess we're having technical difficulties. I don't really know how to get back. So, I guess I'll just answer the questions here. First question is, what was your inspiration to write a fantasy/magic series? Well, honestly, it was pretty simple. I wanted to make one really bad. And this was around the time I started working on After Effects for the first time. And I wanted to see what I could do with the skills I did learn. And I wanted to challenge myself in Sims, as I've never done a magic series before. And yeah, so it was just something I really wanted to do, and I thought it would be really fun. It was, to some extent, but I definitely had my difficulties and struggles, but I'm really glad I created Intertwined, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Next question is, you've just completed your longtime series Intertwined. How did you keep yourself interested and motivated creatively after so many years? What advice would you give to directors just starting their own series? Looking back, how would you describe the overall experience, and what are your feelings now that it's finished? Thank you so much for your question. Okay, so this is a lot to unpack. I will try to condense my answers as much as I can. So, keep myself interested and motivated. What helps me a lot is I like to look back at comments or live reactions to the episode. I like to read them, watch them, whatever it is. It makes my heart so happy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are so excited. People want to know what's going on. They want to know what's next. They like my story. Okay, like let me keep going. Like that motivates me a lot. And honestly, like hearing voice actors sending me their lines for the series, once I get all of them, I lay out my lines and I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. Like I see it up visually in my head. I can't wait to like do it. So those are a few things that help me keep me going. What advice would I give to directors just starting their own series? Listen, don't feel pressured for numbers or views. Just tell your story. Tell it how you want to tell it. Don't put so much pressure on yourself, really. That's it. Like, I know it's hard not to do that, but honestly, just have fun with it. And then lastly, how I describe my overall experience and what are my feelings now that's finished. I think it's been at least almost 3 months since the last episode or the final episode came out for Intertwined. And glad that it's done because Intertwined put a lot of pressure on me. I would probably say it was one of my hardest series to do. It definitely challenged me a lot, but I don't regret it. I am really happy with how much I have grown from episode 1 to episode 13. I feel like I had a lot of growth, and I am very grateful for the challenges that Intertwined gave me. And it made me do things I didn't think I could do. Like, I didn't think I could do a fight scene, or do magic spells and fire. And, like I created this world that I'm very proud of. And honestly, it made me more confident as a director. And I am feeling sad as well that it's done. But I'm also happy that the story is now told. And, I hope you guys enjoyed the journey with me. What in the world is ah! Ugh! Ow! Oh, God. That hurt. Oh, no. Wait, Kate would not like it that I'm sitting in his chair. Hold up. It's quite nice. I think he won't mind if I sit here for a little bit as I answer some of these questions. Speaking of, we all love Daddy Kane. How did you come up with this character? I was wondering if I would get a Kane question, and you know what? I am happy to answer. Honestly, I needed a cruel, doesn't give two shits antagonist that will stop at nothing to get what he wants. And that was Kane. He was grown up to believe that you need to always get what you want, no matter who or what was in the way. You have to be the most powerful person in the room. I wanted just somebody who all around was just evil. Like, he had his reasons, and maybe you could kind of understand them, but I didn't want him to be redeemable in any way. I just want him to know what he wanted, and that was that. He knows what he wants, and he'll do anything to get it. We strive for a guy that knows what he wants, right? And sometimes we may or may not want to root for them. Next question. First of all, I love Intertwined, and I can't believe it's ending. I'm sad. What are your feelings about it ending? What are you going to miss the most about it? And what are you not going to miss from the show? Thank you for your question, but don't be sad. I will say, like I think I mentioned before, I am happy that it's over, that I was able to tell my story and I completed it, and I'm happy how it ended. I'm going to miss my characters the most, especially my boy Caden. Hashtag Team Caden. Sorry, y'all. But I'm going to miss my characters the most. And I'm going to miss um, the fight scenes that I've done. Those were actually not that bad to film. I actually had a good time filming those. But what I will not miss are the creative random ideas I come up with, thinking that, oh, I can totally pull this off in Sims. I can totally do that. And then when I get to it, when I'm filming, I look at myself and I go, why the heck did I do that? Why did I write a firewall springs around, Caden and Kane? Why did I do that? Oh my God, I have to somehow pull that off. Yeah, so I won't miss that. I won't miss After Effects. I won't miss the lengths I went to create some effects. Next question. What is your most favorite line that you have written from all your series? Okay, well, I'm going to be really honest. There are so many to choose from, so instead of me butchering it and saying it weird, I will just play the clips and then you could see for yourself.
Just as they have used us, they used you.
I'm afraid of doing something stupid.
I can see the fear. I want to see the life leave your eyes.
God, fuck it.
See what I mean? No one does it better. Oh, come on. Not again. Ah! Oh, out of all places. This area gives me nightmares. Well, this is perfect for the next question, I guess. From all your series, what scene was the hardest to film, and what is your most fave scene to film? The fire surrounding our two favorite, spoilers, brothers, that was hard. Not only did I have to film with the green screen wall, I also had to edit all that in After Effects and do a lot of color correcting. And that scene to film and edit took about 2 to 3 months to do, just because it was very time consuming. So that was my hardest to film and edit in a way too. My fave scene to film is one from Out of Focus episode 7. The photo shoot scenes, I always had a great time filming. It was always so fun and just energetic and freeing in a way. Like, it was like, okay, have my sim pose and do this and do that, and the music and everything like that. Looking back on your series, are there any character arcs or storylines you wish you would have expanded on? Yes, 100%. For Intertwined, I wish we got to learn more about Caden and Kane's family dynamic. I think that would have been cool to see how they grew up and what their environment was like, and why was Kane pressured into being who he was? Was he always that way? Were Kane and Caden close at all? Why did Caden and his family, well, not his family, but why did mom and dad only take Caden and not Kane? Like, what was that all about, So I think that'd have been, fun to expand on more, kind of like a prequel, huh? I also would have loved to see a character arc between Kira and Elena. That was something I had written if it was going to be something I was going to do, but of course that did not happen. Next question. I am in awe every time I watch an Intertwine episode. The FX, sound effects, story, and writing blew my mind. I'm curious, and spoiler for the end of the series, sorry, did you ever think of doing a really dark ending? And if you did, what would it be like? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. But yes. I had 2 completely different endings for Intertwined planned out before we have the one we have now. Spoilers incoming, guys. So if you don't want to know what's going on, then I just mute this segment, please. Sorry, so sorry. Yeah, there are actually 2 alternate endings where basically Kane actually got away. They never found him. He was out there, still being a threat. And at the end of the episode, it was Caden telling Elena, hey, I'm leaving to go find him. love you, girl. I'll keep in touch. And that's how that was going to end. But that got scrapped. I don't know if I have that script somewhere, but if I find it, maybe I'll put it out someday. And then the second alternate ending was that Elena would have sacrificed herself in order to make sure Kay never got what he wanted. Kaylee, unfortunately, would have also still died, and so has Emerald. Except with Emerald's end, Faust isn't the one who found her. It was Kane that found her. And he would have left her there to die, basically. And she, at that point, saw him for who he really was. But, yeah, those are pretty much the two alternate endings I had for the show. Congrats on another completed series. Can you give us a bit of what Back to You will be about? And are you excited to go back into anime-style series? Thank you so much for your question. And yes, I am super excited to talk about my new anime-style series, Back to You. It's about our main character, Lindsay. She wishes she can go back in time and change the moment she regretted the most. Not being able to tell her crush how she's been feeling after 10 years. For Lindsay, this possibility comes after she gets into an unexpected accident and suddenly finds herself 10 years back, where she only has a limited amount of time to tell her crush, Jace, what she's been feeling after all this time. However, there are some small twists along the way that I think will make you question if this is your typical anime love story. It is going to be very different from what I have done in the past, but I'm excited to bring you guys into this world and dive into our new characters. I really hope you guys enjoy the story and fall in love with it. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and coming with me around my sets. I love and adore all of you. Your support has meant so much to me, not only the past 7, 8 long years it has taken me to get intertwined on, but as well as the day I started here in the Sims community. You guys have shown me so much love and support, and honestly, it's what keeps me going. And I really hope you enjoy not only Back to You, but Sincerely Lily as well, which is a collab series I'm working on with Sam, aka X Star Shanks. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Have a good day. Bye!
Stay tuned. SMAC will be right back after the break. Coming up, Penny sits down with Shadow Gaming VA for a new voice actor Q&A. And after, Stassi J and OMG Sims are here to do their director panel.
Whoever fights the monster should see to it that in the process, he does not become the monster.
Don't move.
Look, I'm not...
Don't speak.
Look...
What did I just say?
What did I say about pointing that thing around?
I didn't know he was your friend.
We'll talk later. Just keep him stabilized.
What the hell do you want from me, Amaya?
According to Zelda, the magnitude of what's to come is something we've never seen before.
We have a huge problem.
Please, you cannot do this to me. Please.
Oh, fire, don't incinerate the force.
A wind doth scatter the ashes. Oh, powers that be, let there be magic.
Hi, Shadow. Welcome back again for another SMAC interview.
I know. Thank you so much for having me. I always love to do these things.
I know, it's so fun getting to talk to you. So I have some questions submitted by your fans. Are you ready to answer?
I'm so ready.
Okay, so the first question is, what drew you to voice acting, especially for Sims Machinima?
Oh, when I was younger, I used to actually watch a lot of Sims Machinimas when they were the text ones,
Mhm.
and there wasn't really voice acting. I was like, it'd be so cool, and I'd just sit there and I'd voice act like the lines that were like in the videos, and I'd be like, yeah, I like this. Like this is really cool. And then when I became a voice actor, I saw like a casting call for it, and I was like, oh, I can do this now. So I tried Upwork, and I didn't get it, but I was that's what started the journey for it.
Do you remember like what was the first Sim show you ever auditioned for?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I remember I don't remember what I first auditioned for. I think Ward might have been like the first big one that I like truly got into and like had like a main character in and had all that stuff. So I think Ward was probably like the first one that really like transcended into going to the Machinima community.
So next question. With the roles you have, did you ever find it challenging getting into character? Is there one you had fun playing? How do you prepare for a new role or script?
Oh. So I think probably like the hardest ones that I always wanted to do kind of like a villain style, and I was waiting for that to kind of hit. And funny enough, Dark Elena was kind of like the first villain character that I played.
Yeah.
And Dark Elena had to kind of I think at one not think, but I know at one point I had to do Elena normal and then Dark Elena at the same time and just talk to myself. So for like a scene, I just had to talk to myself as normal Elena and then Dark Elena. So that was probably like the more difficult version of it because I was like, okay, let me make sure I can differentiate like the different Elenas that I'm doing right now. And that was probably the more difficult of the ones that like I've had to do.
Yeah, because because there's a scene where you are talking pretty much to yourself, right? So is it like hard where you're saying a line and then you're like, wait, I gotta jump into this character, like just doing both characters at the same time?
Not as much as it used to be. For my normal day job, I play kind of like 3 people at the same time. So, like, I'm pretty easy at, like, switching at different voices because I have, like, my normal voice, and then I have my Gary voice who talks like this, and then, like, I'm switching through, like, my normal voice and that voice. So it's kind of like I've gotten pretty comfortable with, like, switching characters.
Wow, that's so cool. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gushing. You do so well. Okay, so next question is, what's your favorite type of role to voice? What type of roles would you like to explore in the future and why?
Ooh. I know I said at least I said last time I said I wanted more villain characters. I feel like I would wanna play more, what's the word? Like, not villain, but, like, those type like, the mean girls that kind of get, like,
Yeah, the
that
bitchy
okay.
characters.
Yeah, like, the bitchy characters, you're like, "Oh my god, I hate this character," and then by, like, halfway through, you're like, "Okay, I kinda love this character," and then at a certain point, they actually become kind of like the good guys. I wanna have, like, that kind of character arc with some characters.
How do you emotionally connect with a character?
Uh, I think it all depends on the script itself. a lot of the time I'm, reading the lines and I'm talking to myself as like other characters to kind of understand how I'm going to say the script, say the lines. And once I, get the script and I like look through it, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I think once I see the actual like video itself and everything come together, I'm like, wow, like this is like it's not even just like me giving you the lines. It's not just
Mhm.
a script anymore. Like it's an entire like video. Like I can see all the different characters who I'm talking to, and like I can visually, and at that point I can kind of hear the characters in my head instead of just me talking to myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so it's kind of like at that point, I see the video, I can hear the people that I'm talking to on the script from then on, and that's kind of when I start getting connected to the character, and I can be like, "Okay, I know this character now, I know how they act, I know how
Yeah,
they are, I know who
yeah.
they're talking to, I know the relationship," and it's like, "Okay, now I'm into it."
Yeah, because you get to learn how your character would act with this character and this other character and in this particular scene. So you kind of like already get the feel what's in their mind once you've played them for so
Yeah.
long. Yeah. So next question is, do you keep on discovering new voices you were able to do? Because you have like an amazing range. Like you can be sweet and then you can be evil and then you can have like a like I've heard some of the different voices. Like you have so many different voices. Like do you keep on discovering new ones?
Oh, yeah. I like I like with my job, like I play like three characters at the same time, but I'm always thrown in like a different character that I have to play just randomly.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the time I'm just it's like, "Oh, hey, go play this like clerk." And I'm like, okay, and sure." And like I have to pull something that's completely different than the other
Yeah,
characters I'm
yeah.
playing, so it sounds like different people. And so a lot of times something will just like come out. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess I can do that." And I'm like, "Okay, let's figure out how I can
Uh-huh.
keep this voice and stay and put it to my repertoire of like so many weird voices that I can do."
So next question. Anybody that has not seen the finale of Intertwine might not want to listen to this. So, um, I know you haven't been playing Elena very long in Intertwine. How are you feeling about the finale?
Honestly, it was pretty emotional to watch the finale. Like I've been playing Elena since 2022, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'd said it I think I said it to Tashi. I was like, yeah, I was really anxious to play Elena when there's already like a set person to play Elena.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this voice actor been doing it for a long time. So I was like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is not my Elena. Who's this? Like, this isn't my Elena." And I was like, I hope people aren't mad that like this is like the new Elena.
Yeah.
And people started to actually love her and like be like, okay, like I actually vibe with this Elena. Okay, like, and it just kind of made me happy that I was able to connect with Elena and people were able to accept me as Elena.
Mm-hmm.
And so playing that character, even though for not the longest amount of time, it's still been, I think, about like 2.5 years, 3 years of playing Elena. So seeing the finale and where she ends up and all of that, I was very happy with her ending.
Have you ever considered directing Sims Machinima, like bringing your stories and imaginations to life, or would you just stick purely to voice acting within the Sims community?
I genuinely had this thought like the other day, and it's been a thought that I've had for a while. It's just Sims Machinimas are so difficult to film. Like the
Mm.
talent and the patience that you have to film these is extraordinary, and I'm not a patient person. like I'm not. I'm like people. If you know me, I am like so impatient. It's like if I want something, I do it. Like I do
Yeah,
not wait
yeah.
for someone to do it for me. So to try and kind of do that, I was like, I don't know. I definitely would love to. I have my own series named The Curse of Othakar. It's a Minecraft roleplay.
Uh-huh.
And I'd love to kind of like have a version of that kind of like that kind of world in like a Sims thing, like maybe just like a one-off just to test it. But I don't have any plans for it right now, just because it is
It
a
is,
very
yeah.
difficult task.
It's time consuming. It's time consuming. Ah, you could do shorts, maybe
Yeah.
small little 5-10 minute little things for practice. Never know. Yeah, yeah. So next question. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you while recording?
I'm trying to think. There's definitely been times I've like okay, so there's a lot of times, I don't know why, but I know why. Whenever I have a character that's like drowning, I chug water.
Oh
And
my
I,
god.
spit up water to make it sound realistic. It's disgusting, but so a lot of the time, whenever you hear me gurgling water or
Yeah.
like drowning as a character, it's real. It is real and it sounds disgusting and I'm so very sorry. There's definitely one that's coming up eventually, I know of, but yeah, it's I don't remember what part it is at, so I can't tell it like which part it will, like what time frame.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I know it's coming up at eventually at one point, and it's just I was like, hey, by the way, this is disgusting. So I'm so sorry. I was like,
Oh
don't
my
listen to
god.
it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to take like towels with you, extra clothes. I mean, I would imagine it get
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like hang up a towel. I'm like, all right, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I hope no one walks in on this because this is disgusting.
Next question. What's your process for developing a unique voice for each character?
A lot of the time I have to look at the character's like design
Mhm.
and typically if as long as I know their personality and I see what they look like, I can kind of understand what I think would be like if it's certain characters it's like, oh yeah, you definitely expect them to have like a more high pitched voice or this
Yeah.
one definitely has a lower voice or this one's more nerdy, this one's more of a California type of like mean girl voice or like like all that. So it definitely depends on the personality and the actual like visuals of the character.
Yeah, yeah. And it also helps when the directors provide like a little bit of an info on them, right? Just to get their
Yeah.
personality and stuff.
Yeah, especially if they have like a I know sometimes I over prepare when you give me like a if people give me like, "Oh, this is a video like an example of like here's this voice actor, here's this character that I love and I think would sound just like her." And I'm like, "Okay, I have to be exactly like her." Like so sometimes I over prepare, but as long as you give me a set thing, I'm like, "Okay, I got it."
So, next question. You've had fantastic roles in the Sims Machinima community, working with different directors and different projects. What's it like collaborating with them? How does that compare to your voice work in other types of media? And what are some of the advantages and challenges in having several significant roles in different Sims Machinima series? Long question, I know.
No, I'm absorbing it. I'm like it's in my brain. um I don't it's a lot of the like I think the biggest challenge when it comes to having like sometimes like a main character in like some of these things it's that there's a lot of lines and
Yeah.
I love having a lot of lines, like do not get me wrong, but sometimes it's like yeah, you have a lot of lines and you have to like keep them uniform, they have to be like similar because they're going to be throughout the entire episode.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is kind of like making sure they're all uniform, they sound alike, that like I'm not sad, like I'm not kind of low energy here and then the next line higher. Like, it's like it has to be very similar to each other. So I think that's definitely a challenge. It's just keeping it more so uniform altogether.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's really fun to see all the different types of like directors and like how they do things because a lot of people work in very different ways. So even if it's the slightest of, oh, you're going to give me scene by scene, or it's going to be, oh, just give me the entire file altogether. Like you don't need to cut anything. And I'm like, okay, here you go, throw it at you. And so it's very different a lot of the times with different people.
Wow, gosh. I mean, you're in like a lot of series, right? So it's like you have to kind of learn what each director wants because I'm pretty sure everybody's like so different.
Yeah, a lot. I have to kind of whenever I get like a script, because a lot of the times with machinimas, like you get scripts, typically a couple of weeks in between each other. Like they're not like
Yeah.
one after the other. So it's like if you get one, between like a couple of weeks or a couple of months, I have to scroll back and I have to kind of like refresh my mind to make sure like, oh hey, like this last script is, she was upset or she was sad during this entire thing. So make sure you keep up with the same type of this and that and oh they want this scenes and this and together and it's like okay let me refresh on how everybody wants this to actually be.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Totally makes sense. So, last question. It's the kiss, marry, or kill. So it's between Chloe, Amber, and Elena.
think they mean Cleo. I'm
Cleo,
pretty sure. I don't
sorry.
think I have
Yeah,
a yeah.
Cleo,
No,
yeah.
you're totally fine. I think it's yeah. I was like I'm trying to think. I was like, do I have a Chloe? I'm like, this is yeah, like
Sorry,
Cleo.
I had misspelled it here. I think in my question. Sorry, guys. I'm only human.
No, you're totally fine. I get this question every year, and it makes me laugh because like I give the same answer every time, and
It's
I always go,
like
"I'm
if
sorry,
yeah, like if it's
Tashi."
gonna like if it's gonna change, you know.
And it's like I'm so attached to Cleo and Ember. It's like so like I've been playing those characters for such a long time.
Yeah, since the
They're in
beginning,
my
yeah.
like yeah, and it's like I can't. It's like they're just like they're my babies. They're like the beginning of my Sims Machinima career. So they're always going to be like to everything. It's like they're very much like my biggest loves, and I'm still actively playing them. So it's kind of like I just love them so much. So of course I'm the same answer I do every year, which is Mary Chloe, Mary Cleo, kiss Ember, and I'm so sorry I have to kill Elena. She's too powerful. She'll kill me first.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, she kind of did already die. In a way. I mean, you know, if you haven't seen her
Semantics.
intertwine, can't give you all, but you know, I mean,
Yeah.
it just makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense. Don't worry. Watch it. It's okay. you go watch it.
Yeah. Well, those are all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us for another year in SMAC, and it was so awesome to talk to you today.
Yeah, it was so awesome to.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stassi.
Hi, everyone. I'm OMG Sims.
And we are here today at SMAC's 2025 convention to talk about Forever and Always, which was a machinima that came out last year, The Reaper, and our upcoming projects that we are currently working on. So I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you so much for the SMAC letting us to come back. I had such a blast last year when our video was shown. It was one of the first ones on, I believe it was Sunday. We had like a cast panel, and just like seeing everybody's comments, it was so like heartwarming. It just kind of made me feel like this project that we had been working so many countless months, almost a year on at that point, was coming to life. So it was just really, really cool to see. Well, no further ado, let's get started. So for the audience questions, did you split up tasks, writing, filming, editing, and etc., or collaborate on every step by step? So I'm going to take the lead on this one. So I wrote the script and OMG filmed it. I casted everybody and I did all of the promo. I was doing press several times a week right before coming out. Basically just getting the word out on this project. But OMG was able to bring what I wrote to life. And I can never thank you enough for doing that. But we really did work side by side together. He would make a scene, he would send it to me. I'd love it. I would send it to the cast. And that was something that was really important to me. The cast was there with us step by step, every step of the way. We had an Instagram channel, a group chat, where we would just, I would show them. So they would be excited. So they could see how the project was coming along.
Yeah, and yeah, that's basically what happened. I mean, Stassi and I, we worked together for like every step of the making of this movie, and it was so much fun. Stassi is a great writer. She was able to make me understand and see her vision, and that's why it was very easy to create and film and edit everything together. Also, she has a way of organizing things, and she's so amazing at it, and that's something that I'm not very good at. And so it was like she was feeling what I couldn't do, and that goes side both ways. So yeah, we were like together for every part of it.
Absolutely. What pieces I couldn't put together, you were able to put together, and I think that's why we make such a great combo when we work together. So there's two questions here we're going to combine together. How do you handle writer's block or a creative burnout? And what inspired wait. Yes, those are the two questions that we decided. I like lost confidence. I got to fit. Okay. What inspired the concept of the specific machinima project, and how did you evolve the idea once it began working together? Okay, so I wrote this script back in 2023. I heard the song. I was walking to work. It's called Forever and Always by Parachute. I was like, man, this song is just so cute. But it was the second time I had heard it. I was like, oh my God, it's so tragic. Like they are literally, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I mean, that's kind of, on you. But like they're like they die. Okay. Like the husband dies. And I was like, this is so tragic. So I went home, I read a script. I was getting married in 2023. I didn't really have time to do anything. Um, and actually, I didn't even remember. I pitched it to you as a music video, which I don't even remember that fever dream. But thank you for sending me that's DM. And unfortunately, my husband, I got married. Like everything was great, and then my husband was in an accident last January, and it really put a different perspective of getting that phone call of just, I didn't know if he was gonna be okay. So like, I really picked back up Forever and Always because I could now put myself into that character's shoes of being scared. And I picked up with OMG and I was like, listen, like I really want to do this. I want to close out this chapter in my life. I know this is nothing like you're used to doing. You're the king of horror, but like this is really important to me, and can we do this together? And he said yes. And I said, okay. I like casted, because I also wanted to work with my friends. So the cast are my friends. So it was just so much fun, just like this giant collab. And then I had this idea. I'm like, okay, well, if we're gonna collab, like a lot of people don't know what machinimas are. So like I was like, let's get builders involved in here. Let's get them saying, let's build the sets. So like they can see their work come to life. And I think the most special part of the project was I had everybody besides the two main characters send me their sim self. So it was their sim self in the project so they could see themselves. The people, their fans could see themselves in it. I really just treated it as a movie. And I just made it in The Sims. I mean, OMG. Would you like to add anything else to that?
Yeah, I think from the first time you pitched it to me, there was an evolution and it kept getting bigger and better and stronger. And I agree on basically everything that you said. It was the right opportunity to work together with friends. And as soon as you told me about this project, I could only say yes to you, just because you've always brought your A game to everything that I made, and I felt that it was time to pay this back to you. And yeah, no, it was just an amazing project from the beginning to the end, and I trusted you, and the story was personal and amazing, and it was the right the right project to do together this way.
I agree. I could not agree more. Like the fact that like it just I can't iterate enough that like I've always wanted to be a director for as I've been a little girl, like, when I was a little girl, and you made that dream come true for me. That is a moment I will never forget for the rest of my life. Like we are bonded together for this moment, and not only that, everybody can go watch it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's never gonna go away. Like it's just a special project, and it's just it just makes my heart happy so so much. Um, so how did we decide when the project was complete? I think like we were we were joking of like we were running out of time. That was true. But to me, it's when me and you we watched it together. I can't even remember what night, but I recorded it so we could I wanted to go back 20 years from now when I'm sitting at my Netflix desk or my A24 desk or wherever life takes me, I can go back and watch the moment the first time one of my movies was done. That's how I knew it was done. Me and you watching it together. And I still cried at the end, even though I wrote the script. I know what happens. I've seen it 1,000 times. I cried. That's to me when I knew the project was done. I was getting emotional watching it.
By the way, we also have the very first rough cut. I still have it on my YouTube channel. It's set on private, and we kind of had like we made it. We had the final movie, and we sat on it for a while, and we asked ourselves, there's like, how can we make it even better? So we worked over what we already have and rewrote some things to like elevate it even more.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, when we watched it together with the cast for the first time, Like, I don't know, I think we both felt the same excitement and joy to like watch their reaction. And when
Yeah.
they were crying, I think we knew that that was the right choice. At that point, you understand that it's time to finish the project and export it, because if you keep editing, if you keep changing things, it loses the identity. And I think at that point, when we decided to close it, it was 100% itself, its own thing. And yeah, seeing everyone emotional made me feel emotional too for the first time.
I agree. I remember showing it to my mom and she cried. Like that's a moment. I showed it to Jason, he cried. And Jason's my husband for anybody who. And he also, I did say he's okay. Okay, like he's okay. It was a long healing process. Like 2024 goes down. Not my worst year I've ever had, but it's second up there. It was a constant, like we just kept getting kicked when I was down. It was a very, very bad year, and this is honestly one of the only really positive things that came out of it last year was this. So, anyways, so I could not agree more. Just watching the cast cry, and honestly, not even just that. Like when it came out, and watching the live streams, and having Oodles live stream it after, and us getting to go on, and like people were asking us questions. Like honestly, like I did so much press, and I mean, no one really cared about Stassi, but everybody wanted to know how you made the film and
It
how
was
you made it
definitely
so to life.
I don't I think this was definitely one of our highlights of 2024,
Hmm.
because it was 2024.
It was 2024, yeah.
It's one
The,
of the best things that happened. It was like this hell of a ride, and it was
yes.
so much fun, so amazing talking about our project together. Yeah, no,
Right. And
you are absolutely the queen of PR and press and everything. You're absolutely amazing. I cannot stress that enough for you.
I think that actually leads us to the next question is what did we learn about each other throughout the process? I mean, I already knew everything. It brought us closer together as friends. Like not without it. I can't go to McDonald's now without thinking of you. I like literally just had a
Me
dream
too.
about OMG the other night that like I was going to go to him and like it's just really brought our bond closer together and I know it's something that we were kind of scared of that like it could have gone in the other direction. It really could have, but it didn't. And like we really leaned on each other like it was such an experience and honestly highlight of 2024 and like it that's why like it makes me want to do more projects together because we just create this lightning in a bottle and I really think forever and always was lightning in a bottle. It was just something that just hadn't been done before. The opportunity was there, we got it in and we got the community talking about machinimas that maybe that they weren't talking about before.
I think this project made me the experience of doing this together made me appreciate you even more. And I already told you, I mean, I'm just gonna maybe repeat myself, but I knew that you were like uh, organized as a person, but the way you set up everything, the way you set the cast build, the set builders, the
Mm-hmm.
cast, the press. I mean, I could never do it the same way you do it. And you were also writing, and we were always talking about what we were going to do to film and edit and change. And that made me realize that before that we were just like doing you were doing voiceover for Amy in the Reaper and other movies, but this made me see you as a director, as a writer, and understand that you are so much more than what people see sometime.
Oh my God, I love you so much. And honestly, it's so true. Like, I can't thank you enough for like you taking me under your wing and putting me in a director's chair and taking me through the process, making me be a better writer, seeing like what I was writing and putting it on the screen. Like, did it work? Did it not work? The ideas I had, like was it too long? Was it too short? Something I've always struggled with is I will execute an idea for it being way too long, but you're like, no, love, we gotta trim it down a little bit. It's a little long. And I'm like, I get that now. And now that I'm rewriting Rose Chronicles, like I think of that all the time. Everything you taught me in the last almost actually, it has been over 2 years since this script has come out. You have made me a better writer. And not only that, you've made me a better person. So, and I love you so
I
much.
love you.
Okay, we only have like one more question because like this whole everyone listening to this is like, we came here to learn about Forever and Always. So Forever and Always it's on OMG's YouTube page. Please go check it out. But we do have one more final question is what upcoming projects are we working on? So I'm back as Amy in The Reaper for this season. Can we talk about The Reaper very quickly?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if The Reaper is our my Machinima series, it's a slasher series like Scream, and if you haven't heard about it, you can go check it out. We have 4 seasons out completely. And right now we're currently working on the next season, which is season 5, and the first episode is already out. And Stassi is back as Amy, which would probably be like it's kind of like a mix of Gail Weathers and Sydney Prescott from Scream, and she's that to the series. She's like the iconic final girl who's always back. And yeah, if you like horror and if you like machinimas and also enjoy Sims content, you should definitely check it out because we're going 100% inside the slasher tropes this time.
Right. Again, call me up when you need me to write you a slasher script. We do have an idea. A script has been written. Let's not lie. A script has been written for our next collaborative project. Yeah. But I think we got to rework it because I think there's still some magic there because I've had people read it and they like it. So we shall see.
I think if we learned something from Forever and Always is that even if we have an amazing first idea, we can make it even better.
I agree. And I think that's exactly a good spot to let this off. So thank you everybody for coming in and tuning into our panel. Thank you, SMAC, for letting us have a panel. I hope everybody who's watched this has taken away and learned a little bit more about what it's like to be a director. But most importantly, if you're doing a co-director, you have to find that person that is going to love you and listen to you and let you grow. And that is what OMG is to me. So thank you, OMG, for everything that you do.
Thank you, Stassi. Love you. And thank you, SMAC, for having us. And I hope you everyone check out Forever and Always. And if you have any more questions about it, feel free to comment it or text us on Instagram. We'll be more than happy to answer everything about it.
Oh my God, yes. And I think we should do something special for the 1 year in November. But this is now we're getting completely outside topic. Everybody,
it's already been 1 year. Oh my God.
It's almost been a year. I know. Okay. Anyways, everybody enjoy the rest of the panels. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, SMAC, again. The link will be somewhere that you can see if you'd like to watch Forever and Always. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We will chat very soon. Bye.
Stay tuned. SMAC will be right back after the break. Coming up, All Stars and Official, Director of Q&A. And after, Penny sits down with CC5 in a voice actor Q&A.
You're my downfall. You've seen their debut, you've heard their sound, and now for the first time at SMAC 2025, All Stars! Hello, we are All Stars! Hi everyone, I'm Genesis, leader of All Stars. We're really grateful to be here at SMAC. Thank you so much for having us! Hi, I'm Cheryl, main vocalist and visual. Thanks for the warm welcome. I put a lot into today's look, so I hope you like it.
Hey, I'm Kobe, lead dancer, vocalist, and the one who nerds about everything behind the scenes. So excited to meet you all!
Hey, I'm Tel. I'm a dancer and a vocalist, and probably the one doing squats and reps before we go on stage. Thanks for coming!
Hey there, I'm Summer, rapper and in-house beauty guru. I can't wait to get in today.
Hi everyone, I'm Trisha, dancer, rapper, and usually behind the group selfies. Thanks for being here!
Hey, I'm Casey, main rapper and the group center. Thanks for showing up today. It means a lot.
We're All Stars. 9 people with different stories, but the same goal, to make something meaningful through music. We started in a small dance studio with no clue what was coming, and now we're here. Let us take you back to where it all began. Okay, so flashback to a few years ago. I was coming out of this rough patch. I used to be in a trio that, well, let's just say we didn't make it past the local contest. Got beaten by another group, and that kind of shook me, so I figured, why not start over, but do it differently? And that's when I met them all at school. I remember having this sudden burst of energy, as if I had, like 10 secret projects brewing.
We were all gearing up for the school's original song contest, and none of us knew each other well yet, but somehow we clicked just in time. Oh, I know that so well. We won by a landslide. I remember that people were so hysterical and they were really cheering before we even finished the chorus.
And someone posted a clip that went viral. I remember waking up to notifications blowing up. That's when things started feeling real.
But to be honest, it wasn't always smooth sailing after that. I had so many moments where we weren't sure if we could keep going.
Scheduling, performances, finishing school, figuring out how to make this a real thing. It was a lot.
We had late night practices, group chats filled with chaos, and more than a few disagreements, but here we are.
3 years of officially being a band, 2 unforgettable years of junior and senior high, and now 6 years of friendship. That's wild. And through it all, I've been drawing, animating, designing things behind the scenes. A lot of the visuals and videos we put out, it's something I have to handle too. This is why I've conceptualized eras for us to remember who we are as a person, a band, and a collective unit. And through these shared experiences, we would like to show you what we've done so far. So let's talk about albums. 3 mini albums, 3 different eras. All of them shaped us. The first one, Power. That was the moment where we had everything to prove. We didn't have a budget. We didn't have expectations. Just a lot of ideas in one shot. I remember staying up late, watching JC mix tracks or Jared do the choreography with Trisha, wondering if anyone would even listen or look at us.
But people did listen. I think that's when it hit us that maybe we were onto something. Power had a lot of attitude. It was bold, experimental, very we're here and you're gonna hear us type of thing.
Oh my god, like it also had our most chaotic rehearsal week ever. I almost cried over the choreo and it's not like me, but it happened to me twice.
And then came Euphoria. That was our Feel Everything era. It was bright, emotional, personal. I think we all needed it, especially after the pressure of debuting.
That one means a lot to me. We explored softer concepts, more harmonies, more range. Also, I may or may not have cried while recording my bridge for Heartbeat, just saying.
And then there was Nocturna, the concept era. Cinematic, moody, late night thoughts kind of vibe. I think that's where we found our rhythm as artists, not just idols.
Oh, that was a turning point. You could hear the shift. See it too, like styling, the visuals, everything was more intentional. And maybe a little intense, but in a good way.
Every mini album taught us something new. And now we're getting ready for the next chapter, our very first full-length album! It's called Nostalgia, a love letter to the music that made us. Think early 2000s energy. A touch of disco and something you'd dance to at 2 a.m. with your best friend. But also something you'd cry alone in your room at 2 a.m., let's be real.
We're bringing retro back with a twist. Covers, reinterpretations, and some original tracks that we're really proud of.
This one's for the fans who've been with us since day one, and for the new ones just discovering who we are. Nostalgia is us at full power, full emotion, and full heart. And we hope you stick with us as we keep growing, keep creating, and keep chasing what's next. Honestly, being here at SMAC with all of you, it's a reminder of how far we've come and how far we still want to go.
Whether you've been with us since Power, joined during Euphoria, or just found us through Nocturna, or vibing with Nostalgia already from the name,
we're just getting started.
From music to visuals, performances to panels like this, we're grateful for every bit of support.
Thank you for making space for us. Thank you for listening, and thank you for dreaming with us.
We are All Stars, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you, Team All Stars, for that special panel. But we're not done yet, as they're gonna perform their first single, Mr. Mister.
앞서가주길 바래 그 누군가가 넌 모른 척 눈을 감는 You bad 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 boy you so bad 더 당당하게 넌 Mr. Mister 날 봐 Mr. Mister 그래 바로 너 나의 가슴 뛰게 한 Mr. Mister 최고의 남자 Mr. Mister 그게 바로 너 상처 느껴진 유리 조각도 별이 되는 너 Mr. Mister Mr. Mister 나를 빛내줄 선택받은 자 그게 바로 너
your 4th year on SMAC. How are you doing today?
Has it really been 4 years? That's crazy. I'm very sick, as you can hear, but I don't want to put this off any longer. So,
And we're so happy for you to be back, and we will get through these questions so you can rest your voice because we all know we love your voice.
yeah, not like this, but I appreciate that.
Okay, so the first question is amazing to have you back, Casey. What roles are you excited to be playing this season?
I am just excited for, I don't know. Let's be honest, I don't really remember all of my roles. I know I've got Sincerely Lily. I've got I don't think Always You's coming out anytime soon. I got just anything that I am a part of, I'm very excited to be a part of. It's just um I haven't left Sims for a reason, you know. I love being here. I love any sort of roles that I get, so I'm just excited for all of them.
We're so glad too that you're still here with us in the community as well. So next question. What has been your favorite type of role played over the years? And are there any type of characters you have played that you liked?
I love being a mean girl character. They're my favorite. I love being mean. So, like, Lori from Ward University was so much fun. Um, Not that I don't love other character types, but like, I don't know. There's just something about being a mean girl, being a bitch. It's just so much fun for me. I think because I am a little bit of a bitch, let's be honest. But I mean, I also love, I just, I really like any character that's not a mom or a child. Because I mean, I can't do a child voice in the first place. And I don't really I don't want to think about being a mom yet. I don't want to, yeah. So, like, I really, like, the Mean Girls are my favorite, but, like, I love any character, any type of role.
Yeah, and the
Anything
mean
that's
girls
also
are fun.
different, too.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely, definitely. So next question. Who are the creators that made you want to start voice acting in The Sims? And who are the ones that make you stay?
So 3 words aren't enough. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first voiceover series I watched, Finding Mine and then Stealing Heaven. Um, so like that was one of the first I watched, and I think X Stars to Shame, not a different person, not Sam. Sounds very similar to Sam's username, but I believe it was X Stars to Shame. She does The Summer I Turned Pretty as a Sims 3 voiceover. And the channel's gone now. I wish I had downloaded those videos. It was so good. It didn't get very far into the books, but I loved that as well. So that was also very much an inspiration. So I would honestly, those two are like the main ones I can really think of that like right off the top of my head. It's like, yeah, 3 words aren't enough and X Stars to Shame. I think that was her username or something. It was like, yeah. Um, and then who are the ones that make you stay? I mean, Sam and Tashi are big ones, you know, a little mid and X. Wait, what is her username now? Stars to Shine X.
Yeah, yeah. X star.
Whatever her username is now, Sam. Sorry, I'm sick. You can't blame me. I have brain fog. Um, so like those two for sure have helped make me stay. Kyle, you know, has FLX pictures.
Yes.
I think honestly, I was leaning towards like slowly quitting, you know, and then I was Calypso for Simsbury, and I also got Ward University for Simmer Boy. I think like before those two roles, I was kind of leaning towards like, okay, I'm just gonna finish what I have, and then I'm gonna stop, you know. But then like yeah, so I was like, ooh, I see things. I'm like, wait, hold up, do I want to stop yet? And same with like Sova, Sophie, and Milo, with
The
crap,
trickster.
what was yeah, Trickster, yeah. It's just like I don't know, just like everyone's creativity, honestly, keeps me in. But like the main ones are Sam and Tashi.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Mhm.
So
Oh, and you, Penny. I forgot about you too. Oh my God, you, yes, you as well. I'm like, hold up, you yeah, you're also a big one.
thank you. Next question. How has your voice acting changed or improved over time?
Oh my God. If you ever go and look at my like very first audition, which I think is technically unlisted, but I literally have a playlist of all my old auditions that is public for people to scroll through. I think I just hid all the videos because there's like 300 of them, I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, if you ever were to listen to that, I have not recently because it hurts me, but like it was so bad. So like definitely just like auditioning, recording those scripts, even if nothing comes out of it. That was more back then that nothing would come out of it. But like that really, really, really helped. Like I don't think like unless you already have like acting experience from like stage or drama class, whatever,
Yeah.
you're not going to be good when you start. You can think you're okay. You're probably not. And like just auditioning and practicing like that is like so helpful because like yeah, it's just I don't know if anyone decides they want to go look for my first auditions. Oh, horrendous. The improvement, amazing.
Yes, because I mean you've been doing this for a long time, so you can hear the
Oh God, it's
difference
been
within
over 10.
yourself, right?
Yeah,
10
it's been over 10
years.
years. I think I started late 2022, early 2022. Oh my God, late 2012, early 2013.
So next question. Um, what kind of characters are most challenging for you?
Um, I feel like I probably answered this in a past SMAC panel, and the answer has not changed. It's a really hyper energetic character. So when I was uh Sophie did what was it called? She's doing Partners into Crime currently, but the main character that I was in, yeah, I can't remember what it's called right now. Just edit it in, Penny, with just a text over me talking right now. That character, she was so hyper, and it was a fun challenge. But like honestly, to me, it was just like, does this even sound good? That's like how I was thinking. I was like I recorded it, and I was just like, and then I like sent it over, and then like, seeing it and the character and everything, I was like, okay, that's not bad. And other people said they liked it, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's just like for me, it's just that's just such the opposite of who I am as a person. So that's like the most challenging for me. Like anything super like hyperactive, higher pitch sometimes. Like I think sometimes I can pull off the high pitch, but like the really hyperactive high pitch thing is just like is really hard for me.
Yeah. Who do you expect to voice more often in season 2 of Ward University, Lori or Vanessa? And if you had to pick only one of the two roles, which one would you pick and why? Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is hard. I think I actually know the answer for that first half of the question, and I don't think I should answer it because it's kind of spoilery. So I'm not, yeah. But
if you had to pick one.
if I had to pick only one, I think, oh man, this is really hard because like I think before the season ended and like we saw the end and like what was happening and it's like, oh my God, wait, Vanessa's still alive. I would have easily been like, Lori, duh, I love her. Right? But then like the backstory and what's going on with Vanessa is just so interesting. It's like, I thought you were dead. Why are you not dead anymore? What happened?
Yeah.
Um,
Obviously, yeah. Like you're just like,
so
what? My character's alive?
yeah, yeah, right. And it's like I'm not just a dead flashback haunting Ezra. What? So it is actually like uh, I think I still lean a little bit towards Lori because I just have a soft spot for her. But like, yeah, if this was like again before the finale episode of the first season, easy Lori pick. But like Vanessa's kind of like just because I don't really know her that well. So like part of me also wants to pick Vanessa because like then I can get to know her more as a character too. Right? Because I voiced Lori for most of the season. So it's like I know Lori, don't really know Vanessa because she's just had those few lines and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I love Lori right now.
Okay, so last question, and this is everybody's favorite, which is kiss, marry, or kill. So it'll be Raylan, Lori / Vanessa, and Allison.
Oh, this is always so hard when they pick such good characters.
I know. And then like if you had a bad character, it's easy, right? But like they're really,
Yeah.
really good characters.
Yeah. And then if there was a bad character, I would feel bad instantly killing them too, though. But let's see. Okay, I know Lori is not dying. I know that. So sorry to Raylan or Allison, but Lori is not getting killed. I guess / Vanessa. How do I feel about Raylan?
Because we're just barely getting to know her.
I know
right?
we're just starting to get to know her. So I'm like, I know her more than you guys have because I've read a few more of the scripts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do I kill her though? I don't think I want to. I feel like Sam and Tashi would also come after me if I were to kill them. But do I kill Allison? Because
I mean, because she's.
I got to know her for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a detective. I mean,
With her being a detective, she's more prone to death, maybe. So maybe I can just kill her off. I hope I didn't kill her last year. I can't remember what I did last year with the characters. I know Allison was in them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Allison was one of them. I hope I didn't kill Allison.
I don't know who was in last year, but I know it was Lori and Vanessa and Allison for sure. Raylan's the new one, but I don't remember who was last year.
I hope I didn't kill Allison last year. If I did, I'm very sorry, Milo, but I'm killing Allison again or for the first time. And then I will I think I just kissed Lori and Vanessa last year. I'll marry him this year, Try something new. Hopefully it's something new. And then I'll just kiss Raylan.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We don't know much about Raylan, so I feel she might need like, some hugs or some kiss to feel better.
Yeah. She does.
Yeah. Well, that is all the questions I have for you today. Thank you, Casey, for joining us on our 4th year of SMAC. I really hope you feel better and get some rest too.
Thank you. And thank you everyone too for like pushing through listening to this voice because it is something right now. So thank you all. And I hope you enjoy the rest of SMAC.
Stay tuned. SMAC will be right back after the break. Coming up, we wrap up our last panel with Circus Box Studio.
Hey there, welcome to Solani. We're the Mer Squad.
I'm Imani. I can control water.
I'm Corlia. I control ice.
It's Arya. I control fire.
Mystic tale, when we swim, we fly. Waves collide, together we rise. Hearts so strong, when we're swimming free. Side by side.
And what made you think I'm gonna listen to some washed up old failure who buys his clothes at a thrift store and sleeps in his truck? Yeah, that's right. I got eyes and ears all over town. So you really don't want to try me, sir. You've got no idea who I am or what I can do.
Actually, I have a pretty damn good idea who you are, Mr. McNaughton. Now, I suggest you turn around and get stepping before I call over campus security.
My family owns this school. I'll have you out of this job before you can say welfare, old man. I wonder what your wife would think about that.
Don't. It's not worth losing your job over. Think about your family, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Boy, you better get the hell out of my sight before I do something we both regret.
What the hell was that about?
Hello everyone, my name is Cream from Circus Box Studio, and I'm excited to be part of Sims Machinima and Animation Convention this year. For those who are not familiar with me, I am the creator, writer, and director of the anime-inspired Machinima series Lost Tales. I'm really looking forward to answer all your great questions, so let's get started! When and why did you start making Machinima? Who are some directors that inspired you to start making Machinima? Honestly, I still feel like a newbie, but I actually started messing around with Machinima back in 2010. Those were just personal projects, me trying to figure out how to even make a film using The Sims 2. But I was more of a fan. My first exposure was definitely JD's music videos. I was also so obsessed with Banilita's LAX series. There's also this super artistic and surreal film called Spinning Plates. It's about a mime, and it has Radiohead's music in the background, but for the life of me I can't remember the director's name. Sorry. I was also a fan of A Little Mid's Twilight adaptation. Back then, it was the only adaptation that existed, even before the movies, and it absolutely blew me away. I took a break from Sims and Machinima for a while, but there are still some videos that totally pulled me back in. Seeing Bahawarian's Bakarabu, Sims Berry's The Kinopsia Effect, Simmer Johnny's Simsville, and of course Ward University completely amazed me. The production value had gotten so good, and it made me think that hey, maybe I can also do this. Your series is so unique. I love your filming style for The Lost Tales. What were your inspirations for the show? Can you please tell us how you come up with it? Thank you so much for that. I'm glad that you like it. My biggest inspirations are definitely those early 90s anime and tokusatsu series. The color grading and the city pop music that I try to incorporate in Lost Things are all big shout out to that era. Another one of my main goals was to keep an episodic approach. I wanted to tell a self-contained story in each episode while gradually moving the main plot forward. That way, anyone could jump in at any point and still enjoy the episode. The hope is that it'll get them invested enough to go back and watch the rest of the series. I later realized this is exactly how shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender are structured. So I guess subconsciously I was inspired by that storytelling style too. I absolutely love this show. It really scratches that anime style itch for me, and I especially appreciate how it showcases a different culture in such a thoughtful way. What were your main inspirations when developing the overall concept and setting for the series? I'm so glad that it gives that anime vibe, because that's what I'm really going for. The obvious inspiration is always Yu Yu Hakusho. The hair colors of the four main characters are my little nod to that series. But the true core inspiration of Lost Things is Spirited Away. It's about that journey into a new fantastical world or realm, kind of like Alice in Wonderland or The Wizard of Oz. The original title was even Spirit Wandering, which is kinda near Spirited Away. From there, it snowballed. I also drew inspirations from animes like Toradora and Haruhi Suzumiya. For the Filipino flavor, it comes from comics like Trece and El Arcangel. Fun fact, Ana Gulay is supposed to be just a side character, but because of all these additional inspirations and development, she became the face of the series and the title was changed to Lost Things, because in Philippine mythology, Ana Gulay is the deity of Lost Things. When it comes to Sims Machinima, I was really inspired by Bahawarian Studios' Bakarabu for its heavy anime-coded style. I literally studied that machinima frame by frame. Making a machinima about Filipino legends is so unique. I love how we can experience different cultures through machinima. How do you make your game look like it is set in the Philippines? Thank you so much. I'm really glad you appreciate it. Those stories about possessed classmates, wandering ghosts, and dog-like monsters, they are the kind of tales told to scare us when we were growing up. And those are exactly the same stories I wanted to share. Now, making the set to look like the Philippines is definitely the hardest part. I started the series even before the 4 rent pack was even released, so I spent a lot of time hunting down Asian and Southeast Asian custom content. I even have a board in Pinterest dedicated to that CC. Thankfully, we also have some amazing Filipino custom content creator like Anraja, Marcia Sims, Petchai Files, Freezer Bunny, who actually built the Macopa High School, and Johnny Sims. Another fun part of my process is that I'll go on Google Maps and virtually walk the streets where I used to live. I use those old neighborhoods as inspiration or reference for my sets. The series was first down as a Simlish voiceover, and then you switch to voice actor. What inspired you to switch? How do you feel about it now? I initially went with Simlish for 2 main reasons. First, I really wanted to capture that full anime vibe, including not understanding the language and reading on the subtitles. Bahawarian Studios' Bakarabu did it so well, and it was also a huge inspiration to me. My very first Sims for Machinima used this style too, and it wasn't that it didn't work for Lost Things. I just noticed during a live stream that viewers could easily get distracted and miss what was happening if they weren't glued to the subtitles. Second, I honestly didn't know enough voice actors to fill a whole cast back then. Plus, I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to finish the series, and I didn't want to get a group of people to commit their time and talent to a project that might not go anywhere. I know how much effort they put into this kind of work. But let me tell you, switching to voice actors was one of the best decisions I've ever made for the series. The cast has become the heart and soul of Lost Things, and I'm so grateful for them. I've learned so much from everyone, and I've become more committed to finish it now more than ever. It's not just my project anymore, it's a collective effort. There is also this amazing opportunity to work with almost everyone at one point and putting them in roles you'd never expect them, like Tashi as a shy, timid student, or Dale as a playful, rumor-snitching creature. And just a little spoiler, Phoenix Artisan, Simsberry, and Shadow Gaming VA are all coming in the future episodes, along with fellow Filipino VA, Nishi Nuggets, and Vanilla Crescent. So that is so fun, and I'm super excited to work with even more voice actors eventually in the future. I just have to give a quick heartfelt thank you to my entire cast. Their efforts and talents have completely brought this series to life. Star de la Vega really gave another dimension to Anna, more than how I initially imagined it. She added this layer of charm to Anna's mysterious aura that makes us more drawn to her. And Samantha as Maya, we all know how good Sam is, but I'm still always blown away by how perfectly she captures Maya's duality. Valiant Shadow as Benjo is simply phenomenal. I feel like I'm learning so much just by listening to Joe. His stammers and mumbles, combined with perfect comedic timing, make Benjo feel so incredibly human and relatable. Everyone loves Benjo, and that is 100% thanks to him. Wally as Arjun de la Cruz is the audience's point of view. We see what Arjun sees, and we discover things right along with Arjun. And Wally absolutely nails playing that experience for us. Mystic Waters as Mibuyan and Bellymel as Amy Both perfectly portray these strong women, and I'm so excited to share and explore their flaws and struggles. Mild Shocker brings such an innocent and loyal energy as Benji's friend, and listening to Canales King's cadence as Old Man Tasio is like poetry. I also have to give a shout out to Serafina, who voiced multiple minor roles, because she is freaking amazing. I hope to work with her more, probably in a significant main role, because she deserved that spotlight. I could go on about every single voice actors, but we just don't have that time. Just know that every single cast member is an integral part of Lost Things, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of you. It seems like you are able to create anything you want when making Machinima. While writing, do you think about what is possible in the game, or is that something that you deal with afterwards? That's a great question, and honestly, I always wonder the same thing with other directors and writers. Yes, I definitely keep in mind what's possible with The Sims 4, especially what animations and CCs are available. My process involves a lot of stepping away from the script and coming back to it with fresh eyes. That's when I figure out what I can and can't pull off in the game, and how I can use camera tricks to make it work. Lately, I've been learning to make my own animations, which has given me a lot of freedom. Now it just comes down to what my animation skills can handle. Can you imagine your series in a different Sims game than Sims 4? Absolutely. I've actually tried making Machinima in The Sims 2, 3, and 4, and they're all amazing tools. Each one has its own unique strengths. Sims 2 has more detailed in-game animations, the way Sim interact with cabinets, plates, and cars. In my opinion, Sims 2 has a superior in-game animations of all. And can you imagine what we could do with the Sims 3's open world? It even had a creator world feature that let you literally build your own universe from scratch. I just happen to be most comfortable with The Sims 4 right now because I'm more familiar with creating my own custom content and animations for it. Outside of the game though, I would love to see Lost Things as a manga or a comic book. Maybe one day I'll finally get to hold a Lost Things book and smell its pages. Do you have any plans for future projects other than Lost Things? I'm glad you asked, and it looks like the trailer might have already answered that. My next project is going to be titled Harry Bond Brigade. It is again an anime-style limited series set in the mid-2000s about a group of misfits who form a rock band and find an unlikely vocalist in someone with stage 1 autism spectrum. Just a heads up though, it's still in its super early stage, so everything is subject to change, and please don't expect it to be anytime soon. I'm still focused on finishing Lost Things first. And I guess that's all of it. Wow! Thank you so much for the amazing questions. It was a blast answering all of them. Your enthusiasm for Lost Things is what keeps me going. So thank you for all the support. Don't forget there are still plenty of amazing panels happening, so make sure to stick around and check them out. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hi, real quick, it's Kyle one more time, and I just wanted to quickly say thank you to all of the creators, the directors, the animators, and all the voice actors that take part in this event every year. I am so excited because next year will be our 5th year, which is even crazy to say. I can't believe it. But we're gonna go big. I'm so excited. We're also looking to expand the team next year, so there will be more information about that soon. For now, I am so happy with how this went. I thought this was such an amazing year. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.